Hello, everybody. 11 grams here, and we are going to do a how-to tutorial on the landscaping tool. Um, Full disclosure, I'm not a fan of the landscaping tool in FS22. I think it needs a lot of work, but I'm gonna do a little tutorial. Hopefully, it helps people uh, be able to use it a little bit better, and you're going to see the flaws that are in it, unless somebody else has figured out how it works, but there are some flaws. So let's get into the video. And first, to go into landscaping in FS22, we need to go down to the three lines down here in this menu and go over to construction. I think everybody should know where that is by now. And your landscaping is going to be right here on the far right. So, I am only going to be talking about the sculpting. Painting, trees, plants, all that's pretty easy. You just click on it and put it down. It's the sculpting that people have issues with. And I had issues with until I played around with it and figured out how everything worked. So, we have four different things we can use here. We have raise and lower, we have level, we have soften, and we have slope. Slope, I found, is one of the more useful tools right now in this game. I used to use an FS19, I believe, which we would call soften right now. In 19, I forget what it was called. I think it might have been called the same. So, okay. Now, this is going to be more for PC. I'm assuming it works the same way on console, but I'm not using it on console. I am using a controller, an Xbox controller, though, and so we're going to start with the issues that I have with the Xbox controller. So we're in raise and lower. To raise or lower, you press A or X with your gamepad. So this is the problem I have with the gamepad. In order for me to raise or lower, I have to keep pressing the button. It doesn't automatically do it for me. If I hold it, it does for that, but it doesn't when I want to raise. Um, I've noticed though, sometimes when I use it, it does work where I just hold the button and it'll work, like what I just did with lowering. Um, yeah, it helps if I press the right button. Let's go there. So, lower, raise. It's not even raising now. Wow, so it has issues with working when you're using both. So you can't go back and forth from your control pad to your mouse because then you're going to have issues. So let's get out of there and let's see if I go and just use our gamepad. What problems may arise? So now it's not working at all. Okay. Not working at all for me now on the gamepad. If I grab my mouse though, we are going to work no problem. So those are the issues I've been having using a gamepad. So when I do my landscaping, I use the mouse only because you can hold, click, you don't have to press buttons multiple times, and we can get things to go up and do whatever we want like we did before. Okay, so now that we have all this nasty terrain here, it's all uneven, can't put anything there. How do we get it back? So there's different ways you can do it. My favorite, if I want to make everything smooth, is I use the level. So you can make your area that you want to use bigger or smaller. Um, I use the gamepad to do that. So I just press my D-pad, either right or left, and it makes it smaller or larger. So now that we have all this mess and we're on level, We're going to make that a little smaller. I want everything to be level with this field right here. So you're going to start over here. You're going to right click on your mouse, left click on your mouse. Helps if I know the difference between right and left. And you're just going to move along, and it should level you out, even to the rest of the ground. Now, when I'm placing down any buildings or anything like that, which really sucks because it costs a lot. As you can see, my money going down like crazy. It costs a lot to landscape. Uh, so I'm not a fan that we have to do this before we put buildings down, but if you don't level out your ground before you put a building down, the landscaping around it is going to be horrendous. So, see how we had all that bumps and bruises? I just went to level. I picked what I wanted it to be level with, where, and I left clicked, and I just moved along, and you can see that that area there hasn't been leveled out properly, because you'll see the money's still going down, which it shouldn't be now. That should be level. So I don't know why money's still going down. That should level it out, no problem. And now if we get out of here and go to our dude, if you look, we're pretty level. Pretty level. Okay. So raising, lowering, leveling, very, very easy to do. Once again, as I said, use your mouse if you're on PC instead of the gamepad. At least mine conflicts and I have issues with it, so the mouse I find is a lot easier. So now we're gonna do the slope one because the slope one to me is very, very, very useful tool, especially when we have issues with different level grounds and building placement. So I'm just going to go into here and I'm going to raise a couple sections up here a little bit. Let's raise this up. Actually, you know what? This will probably be a good opportunity to test out the smooth function. So the smooth should smoothen everything. So it's nice and smooth. See how we're smoothing out like that? It's gonna be nice and smooth. So this is kind of the same feature as FS19. I use this a lot. I feel like it worked a lot better in 19 though. So now we have a hump there. Let's go to our slope. So we don't want to remove this because maybe we have a building up here and you want a nice drive up here. You don't want to get here and have this big hill. So you're going to come up to your top part of your hill, or whatever point that you want the top part to be. And if you see in the help window up there, you're going to see set slope target point, and that is going to be a right click. So I want my target point to be the top of this. So I'm going to right click that. So now my target point is set to right here. And you can start anywhere you want. I suggest, depending on how high your hill is, to start at a decent distance. So you have a nice slope up to there. So see how we did that? We set our slope up there, and then we started down here, and it set our slope right there. So now if I exit out of this, we're going to have a nice, smooth drive up to here, where we just landscaped. So the slope tool is pretty cool feature. I find it helps a lot with landscaping because of the issues that do arise. Now, please let me know if you know a fix to any of the issues, and I'm going to show you one of the issues right now. So let's just level this area out. All right. Let's level that out. So this is all level. and I'm going to show you a couple things. So if we level this out right here, this should be good. Now we're going to exit out of here, and we're going to put a building down. I don't care what building. I don't want to do anything too big, so let's do this. And if I put this down right here, 152.5, 152.5, it's because we're flat ground. That should look perfect. When I come out here, there shouldn't be any landscaping issues, nothing. And that's because I flattened the ground before. Now, let's go back into our construction. And landscaping. We're going to go here. Let's make this bigger. And let's make some uneven spots here. Okay. So now we're going to go into our buildings, and we're going to place that same shed at 152.5, and now you're going to see 154.7. It costs a little bit more because this isn't flat ground. So let's put this right here. Okay, so our building's down. Let's walk over to it. Watch for the purposes of this video, it's actually going to work, and it's not going to be an issue. See our edges here? See how all this is? Not very good. If I want to drive through here with my tractor, obviously that's not going to work. So now I want to flatten that out. I want to make it look nice, so we have a nice smooth drive up there. So let's go back to our construction tab and back to our landscaping. Can I zoom in anymore? I can. Okay, so first things first. What do we want to do? We want to level this out. So let's go to our level tool. Let's try this out first, and I want to level this to here. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So now we're going to level all this. Watch this work for this tutorial, because it looks like it's doing now. Maybe they fixed it. I don't know. I haven't tried. Actually, no, I tried this morning with something else and it didn't work. Apparently this building is letting me landscape all around it without an issue. So we're going to have to try a different building to see if that issue arises with different buildings, because pretty sure I'm going to get this one landscaped in there good. See how I'm using the slope tool? Let's actually zoom out a little bit. So I want my slope to be here. So I'm going to do this. You know what? Let's make this a little bit bigger. I want my slope to be to there, because we want to make a nice gradual slope up here. Nice and gradual, nice and gradual. And same thing with this. Oh, see now. I want my slope to be there. There we go. Alright, so for this building at least, it has let me landscape around all the edges. Which is actually pretty cool, because that has been a known issue. So we're actually going to build another building. I know I've had issues with these buildings, so let's put down one like this. And not the greatest area, and let's see how this looks after we put it down. Okay. Oh, look, it's all jaggedy. Our doors aren't bad. Get in and out of this door, no problem. And I don't know where the other doors are on this thing. Is that the only door? No, there's a door right here. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's see if we can landscape this around here, because this is the stuff that I've been having issues with, and I think a lot of other people have too. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you probably will soon enough. All right, so I mean, if I would landscape on a slope to here, I would choose this. I would choose my slope location as right here. Probably make this a little bit bigger. Okay. And this should landscape up to there properly. And I think we are having the issue that we've been having. So if I go out of here, right here it worked okay, but it's not landscaping it right here. So let's try that again. And go to our landscape, slope. We want our slope to be right here. And it is not landscaping it right there. So if we go to raise and lower right now, and I raise, see how I can't raise right here? None of this is going to be raised. It's going to raise there, it's going to raise there. But there are going to be parts that for whatever reason won't let you landscape by the buildings. Actually, let's level. Let's level this and see what happens. So I want it to be level here. See? Nothing. It'll do it right here, which is awesome. But it will not, no matter what we do, landscape around here. And that's the issue that I am having with the landscape tool. It doesn't matter what I use, soften, raise, lower. It is not working. It won't fill in spots like this, and we keep having glitches like that. So if you're having issues with the landscape tool and it is not working around those spots, it's not you, it's the game, and it's something that Giants has to address, because I'm sorry, that just makes your farm look like junk and unusable, especially when it happens right by a door that you go in and out of with your tractor. Like, this doesn't matter. I don't care if there's a big hole right here. I mean, it'll look bad, but it's not going to affect my game at all of bringing trailers in and out of a shed. So be aware that there are issues with the landscaping tool. And if anybody knows a fix to that, please leave a comment on the video for myself and for others that watch this, because there's nothing that I've been able to figure out that can fix that problem other than leveling out your ground like I did here before you place any objects down. So that's what I'm going to suggest. Make sure you level out your ground before you place any of your buildings down, or you're going to have issues like we had at the front of this one. So, guys, this was meant just to be a quick video, a quick how-to on using the landscaping tool. So I went through everything really quickly, more or less PC only. I'm not sure if you have the same gamepad issue that I do when you're using a console, where you have to rapid press down the button instead of holding it when you want to raise or lower or do any flattening. Holding it does not work for me on PC with a controller. I have to use my mouse. So that'll be it. And thanks for watching.